And the good daemon would be the equivalent of like Cupid. When you, in Christianity, they have Cupid that shoots you with the arrow.
Yeah.
Right?
That's actually a good daemon that was incorporated into the Christian religion. And I personally feel I personally feel that John Dee was actually speaking to good daemons rather than angels. If you guys know anything about that.
He was an interesting guy. One thing that came out about Dee, which I thought was very interesting, was that he was an intelligence agent. Sent out by Elizabeth to like all the European courts. They were trying to get like a Protestant kind of group together to fight the Habsburgs, the Catholics and stuff. And his magical diaries, which have all these communications with spirits and stuff, it is thought in some circles that they might actually contain a very sophisticated code, giving like dispositions of troops, diplomatic information and stuff like that. There was a guy by the name of Tritamius, and he wrote a book on what they used to call back then steganography, and basically ciphers and codes and stuff. And he wrote these 3 books on it, and the third book was all about how to send messages in war, and the third book was all about how to get angels and demons to send your messages so that the enemy cannot. And there's all these different complicated formula. Well, they all suspected that this thing was simply a code. They didn't solve it, I think, until like some guy from the NSA in 1980s or something finally broke this thing. It was like a 600-year-old book. And when they translated it, it was all about, this is how you write a letter, which looks like a regular letter about any subject, but really you've got this message in it. And it could be that Dee's magical book, just like Tritamius's magical book, was in fact had hidden like military and diplomatic information in it. No one's ever really approached his work from that perspective, but there could be many layers of this. And that's not to say that he certainly was going through these occult experiments. He was like trying to make contact and stuff, but there could also be a deeper layer of international intrigue and espionage. And of course, occultists have always been associated with intelligence agents. Crowley was involved with British intelligence. He was the one that advised them on interrogating Rudolf Hess. And they started feeding him mescaline while he was in prison during the war to try to break him. That was on Crowley's suggestion. Feed him some of this stuff. And so that's a very old connection. John Dee's number, by the way, was 007. That was his reporting number, which is interesting.
Well, they got the James Bond thing from
the 1500s, 16th century James Bond.
Yeah, they'd go clear back that far. There are some people so far ahead of their time in their thinking, it's unreal.
Just amazing.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely incredible.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. It's almost 10 o'clock. I might have to bail out here pretty soon, guys.
Yeah. We're going to wrap it up here soon, I think. Yeah. So,
But thanks for inviting me on. I had a great time.
It was great. Otto, come back anytime, man.
Well, we can talk about magic. Sex magic is an interesting. I dabbled in occultism myself for many years, and have something of a background in this. So,
okay,
I will say one of the things that got me about cultism, and I applied myself to it very rigorously for a while. And one of the things I discovered about it is that it does work. And that kind of made me stop because it's like I don't know well enough what I want. You know, say I want this, so I do something, and then I get this, and then I have it, and suddenly, oh wow, I've got this now. This isn't what I expected, but I have to have it now. So
saying exactly what saying exactly what you're describing exactly what I've always wrestled with like visualizing things and manifesting them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know exactly what it is I want or what exactly it is that would be best for me to do. And then sometimes it turns out to not be necessarily as good as I thought it would be once I get it.
Because your perspective is different, and it's true. No, it's the sort of thing that I just basically switched from. You know, there's an old prayer when you pray to God. It's like, don't give me what I want, give me what I need. You know, give me what I need, even if I don't want it, because years later I'll look back, kind of deal. So when I realized this, I switched over to straight mysticism. You know, it's like, you know, never mind this. I'm gonna, instead of trying to work on the outside world, I'm gonna work on my own mind and try to make that work better. And then I don't have to worry about all this stuff. Like I want to be with this person. I want to do this. I want to have that. And then you get it, and it's like, whoa, this was not, you know. Oh,
they say it's giving you everything you want because they're trying to hook you. They do that. You can wish bad on people when it starts happening too. I mean, you have a lot of power with it, but it's kind of deceptive.
Well, you know, and we were talking about this a little bit last night, and one of the central things about Buddhism is that it teaches that it's about what they call karma, and that basically means action. Karma is intention. It's actually a mental state, if you look at it deeply enough. But every decision you make, every thought you have, and every thought is an action. Every action you take has repercussions. Everything you do is amazingly important and powerful, even your slightest decisions. So in Buddhism, we say you want to be skillful. If you act skillfully, then you will have good results. If you're harmless, if you observe your precepts, you don't lie, you don't steal, you don't have illicit sex, you don't drink alcohol, then you're going to give yourself protection from these things and protect the people around you. This is skillful. And so when you make your decision based on these skillful ideas, you're probably going to make better decisions. But you can't tell yourself that what you decide doesn't matter, because everything you decide, you can't, well, that drink won't hurt. You know, this won't, well, I'll lie to this person, that won't hurt. You know, because it's like a pebble dropped in a pond. Even one lie, even one drink will have repercussions for years, possibly. I think of some of the, you know, I got away from alcohol. I always did the stupidest things on alcohol. I've done some of the stupidest things that I've ever done. And I just wanted to stop being stupid. And I'm not going on against, if you want to have a drink once in a while, that's fine too. Just for me personally, I didn't want to drop that pebble in the pond anymore. And and it's helped my life. I don't know if it would help everybody's life. Right. But our actions are amazingly powerful, and that's something we don't want to hear. We don't want to have that responsibility. You don't want to have this. Oh, it doesn't matter if I decide. Yes, it does. So you've got to now make a hard decision. I'm not saying it doesn't matter if I do this, because everything you do does matter. We have so much power, and we don't want to hear about it. Right. But it's in our hands. It's in our hands.
I had to step away for a minute because of some issues that was going on around me, but I'm back.
Okay. And that was the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Sorry you missed it, Roger. Gosh.
Well, I mean, I told these two that I was going to keep quiet.
You had all the answers and you missed it because of some issue.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
no, it's all recorded.
I was going to be quiet until Otto came on here, and like he gets me fired up. I mean, I don't know about you two, but like he says some great stuff, and I just start getting all fired up and want to talk.
Yeah, Otto's interesting as hell. Definitely.
Thank you.
That's definitely.
My
he has a way of saying a lot of things I've thought about and wrestled with in my own experimentations with visualization and what have you, which is really uncanny.
Yeah, visualization is a very powerful tool. Very powerful tool. And how we talk to ourselves. This is what in Buddhism they call mental fabrications, verbal fabrications. Verbal fabrications are how you talk to yourself. And you can talk to, you get up like, God, I hate myself. I hate my life. I'm no good. Da, 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 da. Who gave you those sentences? Who put those into? That's not you. That's one of those other selves that doesn't like you and is trying to hurt you, right? So that's verbal fabrications, how you talk. Then there's mental fabrications, how you frame things. This is the worst day I've ever had. That's no good. But like, hey, I've got a lot of things I can get done today. That's, and then there's what they call physical fabrication. And that's basically how you breathe. And breathing is the one thing you have that can directly control the mind. It is an unconscious, but also conscious function. You just breathe without thinking about it while you're asleep. But you can also consciously look at your breath when you're upset, say, well, what's wrong? Well, I'm not breathing right. I'm holding my breath. I'm hunched over. I'm not getting enough oxygen. It's making my blood levels of oxygen go down, so my brain panics, and I find something good to panic about. It's suddenly these ideas come up, this. Once you calm the physical body down through the breath, is how they usually recommend, then you can start thinking more clearly and making those important decisions more clearly. And visualization is part of that. So what you visualize is going to determine the direction your brain is going to go in. So yeah, my suggestion would be, if you're visualizing something, try to visualize something that conveys that same idea of not what I want, but what I need. For example, simply visualizing yourself bathed in white light, descending from, just a healing, positive, but without directing it. Like, I want healing, positive, I want that, this or that. I want that car.
Okay, so now
maybe that car would not be a good choice for you, though.
Now you're sending me to another. You're sending me to another creep factor level because I have feedback from the Notorious B on this subject. Okay, and he asked me if I was familiar with mindless self-indulgence. This actually takes us into what I was talking to you about the other day about samsara and the hungry ghost. That's my take on it. What's your take on that when it comes to mindless self-indulgence?
Well, mindless self-indulgence, again, it's what we would say, it's very unskillful, because when you're indulging yourself, that means you're ignoring. That's ignorance. You're ignoring all of these other factors. Screw the rent, let's get another 8-ball, kind of deal. That's mindless indulgence, and it's a wrong use of the present moment. A lot of these guys teaching today, they say Buddhism's all about be here now, man, just groove in the present moment. And then no matter what you do, it's okay because it's just now. There's no tomorrow, there's no yesterday, man. So like let's get another 8-ball, kind of deal.
They use it as an excuse to self-indulge.
That's not what that's for. Being in the present moment is, in Buddhism, every time the Buddha talks about being in the present moment, he does it as part of a reminder that death is near us at all times. Every Buddhist wakes up in the morning, me included, and you say to yourself, there's 5 things to remember. And one of them is that I am going to get older. That is inevitable. I am going to be ill. I am going to die. I am going to be separated from all that is precious and dear to me. I'm going to change. And I am the heir to my actions. I am the owner of my actions. I am defined by my actions. My actions, including my thoughts, are what make me. And that is really where you have to be coming from. And again, it's that getting power over yourself. And when we think about the present moment, it's because we don't know how much time we have left and we have work to do. Ready to go? The answer is usually no. So, well, then get to work. Pay attention to what you're doing. Stop wasting your time being angry. Stop wasting your time hurting yourself and other people. All this suffering. The Buddha said, I teach 2 things and 2 things only: suffering and how to end suffering. And that's really all it's about. And the key is getting a hold of our, not pain. Pain's inevitable, but we don't have to suffer as much for it. The suffering is optional, and we can remove so much suffering simply by how we breathe, how we talk to ourselves, and how we think about things. And if we can get our minds to think about the things we want to think about and not think about the things we don't want to think about, then we've made a really good step. That's what I'm working on anyway. I hope to get there one day.
It's real easy to focus on the negative, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
About that, I'll be thinking about something.
Yeah.
Why am I not thinking about something positive that happened? There's been more positive stuff usually that's happened than the negative, but you think of that one little thing. Rip that one little piece of wallpaper off and just keep tearing it.
That's when you let yourself lose control, because you're there and you're focused and everything, and it's like, oh, let me think about this. And like I was saying earlier, with me, it's like, oh, think about this pleasant thing, but what if this happened? And what if that happened? And in Buddhism, they call this a becoming. You take on an identity in this imaginary world you create. And most people, they live in their heads. They don't look at like the phones is an extension of that. But even without a phone, most people are going to be wool gathering, thinking about something pleasant, more likely thinking about something unpleasant, like you say, because those emotions are strong and you get addicted to them. The adrenaline, the different changes in your blood. It's like the people going into the country western bar. I'm looking forward to feeling really, this person did that. All right, now I have an excuse to be really miserable, get drunk, and have a fight with my girlfriend, kind of deal. I've known couples that like they were like lying in wait for each other. Oh, she did this, and if she does that, I'll get a chance to yell at her. Or he did this. Oh, I'm going to tear him a new one if he does that. Oh, let's wait and see. What a life! What a life!
But people feed off of each other that way. That's they create their excitement.
Yes,
I feel so bad.
That's a Buddhist term, feeding. That's what we all do. All things feed. And it's not just physical food, it's emotional food. It was like that thing I was saying about the troll online, the energy. He just called me a dumbass. Oh, yes,
I feel so bad because, like, I'm a bachelor. I've been single all my life, and the one thing I love to do is, like, pick on married people. I really do. You know what I mean? Like, especially with the new stuff that's happening with, like, all this politics and stuff, like, I don't understand married men, you know what I mean? Because they get all mad because freaking now transgender men want to get into a boxing match with a woman, and all they have to do is say that they don't believe they're a man. And I'm like, as a married man, freaking, you should really think about that, because how many times have you just gotten so mad you wanted to just punch her in the face, you know what I mean? It's like all you got to do is lie and say that you're not a man, dude, and you get to legally go into a boxing ring and punch a woman in the face.
That could be a tempting idea.
Yeah, and married men, they know what I'm talking about. They don't say it out loud, but they know, you know what I mean? So do women. Women know that too. That's like freaking, you know what I mean? It's like you get so frustrated when you're married at some points, you have to cope with it and work through it, but it's there. And I love it.
I've been married a long time. I've never ever had the least desire to strike my wife.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that.
Say that we've had arguments. Everybody has arguments, and we've been together. This is our 30th year, so we've had plenty of time to have arguments. But and yeah, it's gone up and down. After 30 years, it's basically set in stone. I don't think I'm going anywhere anytime soon right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that whole martial arts thing. If you're a woman and you want to walk into a fist fight with a man and both parties want to do it, be my guest.
Yeah,
but
you're not gonna win if you're a woman.
Yeah.
I don't think violence is good. Why can't you just spend some time apart? People act like they have to do everything together. You don't. You have a separate.
That's another point too. I always say my wife and I enjoy our time together, but we also enjoy our time apart. And I've got a place I rent to play music. I call it the studio. It's just a big room full of musical instruments, where my buddies all come and play. And I remember once we were talking, and I said, "Well, do you want me to make you a copy of a key to the studio in case you want to go up there?" So she says, "No." She says, "Every man should have a room to which there is a key that his wife does not have."
Right.
So she respects that space, and we spend time. Well, I've got this other job that I dog sit, and sometimes I'm away from home for like a week. And so when I come home, it's like, oh, we miss each other, kind of. So it's a nice little, we call it. So it's like, oh, I miss you. So yeah, but you do need to spend time apart as well as together, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
He has his own place, but he stays here a lot. But then he goes home, and I'm like, well, that's nice. It's nice. People are like, well, why don't you want him to move in? I'm like, he doesn't want to move in. I don't want him to.
I saw this thing about this couple. They'd been married for decades. They lived in a trailer park. They each had their own trailer, and the doors just faced each other, and they would spend all day together, but then they'd go crash, and one could sit up and watch loud TV, and the other one could read or whatever, and they could get up and they'd have breakfast and everything, and they'd take turns using each other's kitchens to have breakfast together.
I like the whole two doors facing each other.
This wing is for your wife, this wing is for you,
Sounds like a good setup.
Don't give me. I was gonna hold off on the trailer park thing, but like you guys are like you're in healthy relationships, okay? But I come from Southern Illinois, where the country girls out here are crazy, and like if you tell a girl that or a woman that you're in a relationship with or you're married with that you're going to step away because we need to take a break, and they're mad and yelling at you, you might get something across your head. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to hear that.
I've gone out with a couple of girls.
Yeah. I learned my lesson on that. It's like if you get in an argument and stuff, the best thing to do is just sit there, let her cool down, and then walk away. But don't say nothing.
Right.
That's hard. Just not saying anything. And like you two are like
that's control. Mm-hmm. That's control, though.
you two are in solid relationships, so it sounds like. I love that.
Well, pretty solid, I always say, I put up a lot with her, but she puts up a lot with me, so it evens out at the end of the day.
Austin's quiet. I know what that's all about. He's afraid of his wife. He's still young. He's like, she will hurt me.
My wife used to be young. I used to be young too. You change though.
Yeah, that's what
years later, it's like, wow, okay, we're still here.
I'm just taking in the whole conversation and getting in a word wherever I can, wherever something when I can add to the conversation.
When I first got together with my wife,
I don't say much.
We were like, when I first moved in with my wife, we'd known each other for years, but we'd always been going out with other people, and then we both had a loose end, so we started, hanging out together. And so I remember I moved in, I brought a few things into the house, and we're going along for a while, and all of a sudden the stereo breaks. So it's like, we need a new stereo, and suddenly it's like, we need a new stereo. Uh-oh. And like, this is the first purchase this is just like a couple of weeks into the relationship. So it's like, are we going to be together in a year? I don't know. Well, who gets the stereo? I was like, so we like made like a renewal. I was like, all right, well, if you leave, then you take this. Okay. But we didn't really expect it to last very long, either of us. So it was all like, this will be fun for a year or two. And then we'll like move on, kind of deal. And then it's like 30 years. You blink, it's 30 years have gone by. What?
Never know, sometimes.
You don't. It was like completely unexpected, but could have been worse. A buddy of mine's son is just divorced his third wife, and I remember he was sitting in a meeting with me and another buddy of mine. He goes to my buddy and said, "How long you been with your wife?" Like 25 years. And how long you been with your wife? I had 29 years. And he goes, "Whoa, I'm getting my third divorce. Maybe it's me."
I would see that by then.
He's picking the same types of people.
That's it.
Friend do that. Like Austin knows who I'm talking about. We had my husband's deceased, but he had a friend. He picked the same type of woman, and he went through several different women, and they were all just mean. Just all
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm single still, by the way. I mean, because
I know. Go on.
That's why I'm single still. I'm 52 and I'm single, and I'm proud of it because I've learned one thing. I have a bad picker, and I did say picker. Austin always picks on me about that, but I said picker. But that's what it is. Everybody likes to blame the other person, but whenever I was sobering up, I learned that I had to take responsibility for myself and look at me. And when it comes down to it, I always pick those women. You know what I mean? It was always me. I always had a choice if I wanted to get in a relationship or not. And I always got involved with those crazy women that freaking just would do what you guys were talking about. They were just mean, you know? Mm-hmm. So I finally went celibate. I said, I'm not doing it no more, you know?
But it could be something in you too. There's some kind of what is an enabler? Is that what it is?
It's a demon. It's a demon.
It's a demon, Roger.
It's you know, it's this insatiable urge to just not do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like if I'm in a conversation and I'm listening to somebody and they're saying stuff that irritates me, I feel that fire inside of me start firing up. And the first thing I should do is say, shut up, Roger. Shut up. Shut up. But I don't, you know what I mean? And that whenever I catch that and I start practicing that more and more, I get better at it. And I eventually start not getting...
You know, Raj, when that happens, breathe deeply, get the body calm down, and then instead of focusing on what you're upset about, ask yourself why you're upset. Look at the mechanism. How did I get upset? What is it this person said? What is it that I don't like? What is it in me that doesn't like this? And then maybe you can resolve that when you see it more clearly.
Yeah. That's the hard stuff too. That's the hard stuff too.
In your own mind, it's what they call that metacognition, thinking about what you're thinking about. That's a tough one. But if we can pull it off, it works pretty good.
Marriage
What's that, Summer?
Free. Everybody acts like you have to get married. I mean, if you don't want to get married, don't. My partner's never been married. He's had some serious relationships, but he's never had kids or been married. People act like, well, what's wrong? He focused on his career, but you know, most of the people, it's funny, in my neighborhood, there's some older people who live here, but most of them are all single.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I've got 2 boys. I've never been married. You know, the women that I was with, I mean, yeah, they probably wouldn't have been the best choice to get married to, but I'm not gonna like have ill feelings towards them. You know what I mean? It's like
right.
And my youngest son, he has a hard time understanding, like, because he had a falling out with her, and he doesn't understand how I could show love towards her where freaking, you know, he's involved, you know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, just because we had our falling outs and went our separate ways doesn't mean I don't love her, you know what I mean? I almost asked this girl to marry me at one point, you know what I mean? You don't... That just because you didn't get married to somebody doesn't mean that you didn't love them, you know?
Right. But you got to co-parent.
Yeah.
You have to try to do that for the kids. That's good because some people do that.
Yeah. And you don't say bad things about your kid's mom.
No, that's not a good idea. I've seen that with messy divorces, and it's like the kids get in the middle.
That's horrible.
And the parents try to get them to hate the other parent. That's not good. Those kids are not happy.
Yeah.
No. Not at all.
And Austin's way too quiet, dude.
He looks old. He's
I always hate to really get talking because sometimes I talk over people because there's kind of a delay.
There is yeah.
You need to learn how to talk over people, dude. Seriously, like just do it.
Young.
I don't care about talking over you, Roger.
That's right. That's the way to do it.
Really young, and it was the worst thing ever. Both of us were young, and it should have been like a 3-month relationship, and it turned into like, you know, I got out of high school and married him, and we were only married for a year, and I don't know how we didn't kill each other. It was bad. It was.
Wow.
I'm not that person now, but back then, wow. I mean, it was bad.
She was a wild child, dude. She was telling me stuff. She's like freaking a wild child, dude. It's in one of the episodes. Check it out, dude. She's like saying I was rowdy.
The Wild Child episode.
Yeah, she.
Wild Child episodes.
But everybody.
Oh God, we've done so many episodes. I don't remember which one was which one that would have been, but I remember.
It was the one after.
Roger.
It was the one after. No, it was before the cornfield. When she's seen that. She's seen that movie star that came out of the cornfield, and she's like, "Whoa, what's he doing here?" And he just.
Huey Lewis,
That was the time travel from 1985 that came out of the cornfield.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Talk about a creepy story. That was eerie.
Yeah. Now.
Well, that's right. Creepy stories.
Hold up. That's a good idea, Otto. Tell us your creepiest story, dude, because that's kind of what this is about.
Yeah, we'll stop. We'll wrap it up.
I've had a few experiences that were, I don't know, I think, Roger, you might have heard the story of the haunted bathroom, this place I lived once. That was kind of creepy.
Yeah, tell us.
The haunted bathroom.
Yeah, tell us that one.
I used to live in this apartment, and I had a housemate, and he and I were. It's the way that it was like it was like a house, and I rented the lower apartment, and the upper part of the house was an upper apartment, and it was like a long kind of a house. So in the front there was like a porch, like a glassed-in porch, and there was a living room, and there was like a kind of a narrow place. It was like we had a bar set up in and a kitchen. And then it kept going back. So it was like a big hallway, and then there was a bathroom, and then there were 2 bedrooms in the back. And my friend's girlfriend was over, and he and I were sitting in the front room watching Star Trek, I believe. And because we always watch Star Trek, it's Star Trek. And she had gone back to, what was her name? Can't think of it. But anyway, she went back to take a shower. And so we're like sitting in the front, all of a sudden we hear a scream. So we jump up and we run down to the other end of the house. And Iris, that was her name, Iris, she's standing there and she's in her bathrobe and she's just pointing at the bathroom with her finger shivering. And when we finally got her to say what had happened was it was dark in the back of the house. So she had taken her shower, she'd opened up the bathroom door, and she allowed the light from the bathroom to illuminate the bedroom, which was pitch black. And she walked into the bedroom, turned on the light on the bedstand there, and then she came back in to turn off the bathroom light. The bathroom light was switched off. And she said she could not have gone into the bedroom unless the light was on. There would have been no light to see. She knows she left the light on when she walked out of it, but she came back, and we had 2 upstairs neighbors. They were a weird pair. That's another story. And we were trying to figure it out. And conceivably, if one of the upstairs neighbors knew exactly everything that was going on, he could have silently tipped down the stairs, come in, flipped the switch, and ran out the door again in the time it took her to. I mean, it didn't happen. And we would have heard them. We could hear them walking around upstairs. And that bathroom always did have weird stuff happening. It had, the bathroom plugs all have the little circuit breaker. For those people listening, not in the United States, all United States bathrooms have this. It was always being flipped. You go in there and it was always like set. And I asked the landlord, the guy I knew, was like, Butch, like, what's with this? Is this place haunted? No, it's not haunted. I'll check it. He was an electrician. He went in there, he checked the wiring, he replaced the plug. It still kept doing it. But I never really noticed it much. But that night when Iris just like the scream ran through the house. So I think that's the haunted bathroom. So there's my creepy story. I've got others, but that's the one for tonight.
That's pretty.
That was a good one, man. Yeah, you'll have to come on here and tell us one every time.
I'd probably run out pretty soon, but I got a few more. I'll tell you about the USS Constellation one time, the haunted ship.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to hear that one next time.
I had a ghostly experience on the Constellation. Just remind me, and I'll tell you that one.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. I will.
Austin grew up in an old farmhouse. I lived there with his dad and his sister, but we had all kinds of stories from that house.
Nice.
Oh God.
We
could have a whole series just about that place alone in and of itself.
You do have an entire series about that place.
Right.
Well, actually, it's 6 episodes, I think, but
there's a whole number of episodes. We should go through and try to categorize some of the old episodes.
I can do that.
Into those.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Roger's probably got every episode we've done. Like he knows every last word ever spoken on every creepy corner mystery show episode that's ever been done. He's probably got it memorized.
Yeah,
got it all down.
I tried to write down a lot of my stories because I would forget them, and I haven't written down all of them. But it shows how you forget, because the other day I was looking on my memories on Facebook, and I had this is a creepy story, but it's real short. I saw on my memories. I sent it to you, Austin. We had a dog named Hambone, and he died, and we had a boxer, Soleil, and she hated him, and so like I would always feed her in the kitchen, I think, and I'd feed him in the living room.
Right.
And she, every morning when I was getting ready to go to work, I'd put her food in there, put his food in there, and she, even though she had her food, she'd run in there and look at him and growl at him, and then run back to eat her food. So that was so. And so, you know, I'm like, why does she do that? She wouldn't attack him, or she's pissed off. So, anyway, Hambone died because he was really old and everything. And so it was a couple weeks after that, and I was getting ready for. Well, I was in on the weekend. I was getting up and getting coffee, and I put her food down. And she acted like he was there, like it was any other morning he was there. She ran into the other room and growled, just like she always did. And then she came back to eat her food in the kitchen. And my husband, he said, he's back. You know, that poltergeist. It's like, he's back. And I was like, that was creepy.
That was pretty creepy, though.
And she been doing that. She just did it that one morning, and it was so weird. It was like he was just there, but he was.
Dogs can see things we can't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a hard time sleeping after hearing that, because it's.
We'll have the light on all night.
Poor little Roger.
Yeah.
He gets scared too easy. He's too sensitive.
You're right. I mean, seriously, I will get scared and not be able. Well, I mean, the 2 freaking pots of coffee might prevent me from sleeping. But
that might have something to do with it too.
That could do it. That could do it. Remember that one time? I remember that one time I did that narration for something. I forget what it was. And you said you said you listened to it, and it was so creepy you had to stop.
Yeah.
Our side stories or something.
What was that? Did it really freak you out that bad, or were you just joking?
No.
It didn't?
No, on both. Like, it freaked me out, but I wasn't joking. So it's no to both questions. Like, it didn't really freak me out, but I wasn't joking. You know what I mean? It was like, it was kind of, it wasn't like scary, kind of creepy. It was just that creepy thing. You know what I mean? Like that.
Effective.
You know, like
it was effective.
Right, like the 3-finger guy who's serving you mashed potatoes, kind of creepy. You know what I mean? It's like,
smarmy.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to.
Yeah, just no. And there's a good idea too, because Otto, you would be perfect for this. But me and Austin's been trying to do a project for about 2 years now that we've never been able to get through. And there's one thing that I'm really wanting to get somebody who knows what they're talking about when it comes to the Naga to come on and have a conversation about it. Would you be willing to do that sometime with me and Austin?
I'm not an expert on Nagas, but I'd be happy to talk about it.
I'm sure you know more than we do, though.
Are you talking about the Everything About Aliens series we've been doing together on and off, Roger?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be very interesting to hear about Otto talk about that some.
Yeah.
Oh, I can talk about anything. I mean, when you say Naga, I think of the in Buddhist mythology. These are these snake-tailed critters. They're like spiritual beings. They're very important in Mahayana Buddhism because they've got this great little thing in Mahayana. Don't get me going, but you see, the Buddha had all these secret teachings that he couldn't tell people while he was alive, but he entrusted them to these Nagas, these immortal beings. And then 300 years later, say, "Oh, look, the Buddha really meant this. You're ready for it now." So it's like, look, we've got a new Buddha Sutra. It's only, well, I know he died 300 years ago, but really, he gave it to these snake-tailed guys to hang on to. It's like, I don't know. But the Nagas are a kind of a spiritual being. I actually have a friend of mine who's kind of an expert on that. Maybe we could get him on, too.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be real cool.
I know a lot of Buddhists.
And just so you two know, too, Otto's been talking to me about maybe doing a show that's Buddhist oriented, and
yeah, maybe we could do something this Tuesday, Raj.
It sounds like a good plan, and we'll put it right here on the channel on the Wonderful World of Weirdness. I've put posts up in the Discord already saying that it's a possibility because I wanted to wait. Huh?
What time do you have that show on Tuesday? Usually.
It's up to Otto. He's the man. All I'm doing is recording like I'm doing for you guys.
Okay.
Oh.
But
well,
right.
I can't.
When do you usually like to start shows, Raj?
For me,
regular time.
For me, I've given up all hope when it comes to making a schedule. I've basically told whoever I'm doing the streaming and recording for, you pick the time, I'll be there. So I mean, on average, I'm for my own streams and videos, I do it at 5 o'clock. But I've noticed a lot of people like doing it later. So I'm cool with it.
Well, this year too, Roger, I want to try to do that one interview on Strange Stories we talked about, where I talk about all those old battles and stuff.
Yes.
And
yes.
Remember me talking about we talked about that a while back, and I never had time to get around to it. I do want to try to do that sometime this year.
I want.
That was kind of a reincarnation thing that ties into Buddhism.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, Otto would really love that.
Oh yeah, I'd like to check that out.
I think.
Well, as far as the show goes, I'm used to doing things around 8 o'clock or so my time.
Sound good.
Because that was always when I would get together with Bob originally.
Okay.
Before everything went upside down and backwards. So I usually have that. But you know what? I'm going to get a hold of my pal Sir Brian, not Brian Rue, but my buddy who is he's like my this end producer of stuff for like podcasts and stuff. Mm-hmm. So let me firm that up with him, but maybe we can do something around 8 o'clock my time if that's good. I think what's that, 7:30 for you, Raj?
It's 8 o'clock is 7 o'clock for me. It's the same schedule we got here. So with Summer and Austin, like they usually do it about 8 o'clock at night too. So I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
It's
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to hear. Austin, you want to sign off too? You can do since you.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, my dog's he's going to need to go out in just a second.
Yeah, I was supposed to sign off a half an hour ago, but here I am. No biggie.
Well, hell, we've been doing this now for 2.5 hours. So this is one of the longest shows we've done in a
while. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's been nice talking to you, Otto.
It's been nice talking to you too, Summer, and you too, Art. It says Art.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Otto. It was nice meeting you. You'll have to sit in on one of our shows again.
I'd like to. I got a lot of spare time right this second, so maybe I'll come on a little more often. Roger keeps me informed of what's going on.
Absolutely, man. We'll try to do another one soon.
Yeah, when Raj, you gave me the link to this Discord, so this is your Discord?
Yeah, but the only thing about these links on Discord is they go outdated. Like they don't.
Oh, okay.
They die after like a week.
I accepted the invite and everything, so I think I'm in the Discord right now.
Okay, good. Yeah. Then you're set up. You'll get the latest information on here. We can hook up and do stuff. Like this is for the Wonderful World of Weirdness. This is the central area where everything's done. So.
Okay, cool. glad to be in the loop now.
Oh yes, you are in the loop.
Right up, and we'll wrap it up.
Yes. You're gonna have to do this professionally too, you two. Like you're gonna have to say goodbye to your viewers and all that good stuff.
And give your websites.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh yeah. Who's doing it? You doing it first? You want me to do it first?
You can go ahead and wrap it up tonight if you want.
Oh, okay. This has been another episode of Summer Todd's Creepy Corner. This is Summer Todd's son, Austin Todd, signing off for the night. You can find me on YouTube and on Facebook. I'll give Roger the links in the comment description of this stream to where people can find my music. I'm also here on Discord on Arts Music over on the music channel, and Roger got the link for that. He can put in the description section. Thanks for watching the show. We look forward to seeing you all and talking to you again next time. And special thanks to Otto for dropping by tonight. We hope to see him again in the near future.
Okay. Bye.
And thanks to Roger for hosting this.
Thank you.